Hi Pisces, welcome to May. This is Teresa from Tarot by T. And before I start your reading, I want to call in some good energy and create some sacred space around this reading. This month we have a full moon in Scorpio on May 7th, which is favorable to your sign. And then we have a new moon in Gemini on the 22nd. And in between we have Saturn going retrograde, then Venus, then Jupiter. So I'll get to that later when we talk about the astrology, but for now, let's see what the cards say about love and relationships for Pisces. What does Pisces need to know about love and relationships for the month of May 2020? What does Pisces need to know about love and relationships for May 2020? Okay, let's see what we get. The Ace of Pentacles, the Seven of Swords, the Chariot, the Three of Pentacles, the Hangman, the Star, the Knight of Wands, the Ten of Cups, the Eight of Swords, and the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so you're starting the month out with the Ace of Pentacles. This could be a job offer or something, a new beginning that leads to tangible success. Could be a job coming in, a job or a project. Whatever this is, you have the Seven of Swords crossing it. So either you're hiding your plans. Sometimes it means that you have to keep your plans under wraps, or you can't let people know what you're up to. The Seven of Swords energy could mean that you're dealing with someone who's not being transparent. Maybe you're wondering if this offer is too good to be true and you need to look deeper, or you're not seeing the truth in a relationship. Maybe someone's telling you one thing to your face and another thing behind your back. Because this is the Thief card, so you want to be careful that sometimes it comes up when someone's being used also. So you want to make sure that in your relationships that you're not you're not letting someone take advantage of your kindness, because Pisces is a very giving sign. And you like to help people and you like to go out of your way to serve people. Just make sure that whoever you're giving your kindness to is worth it. Because with the Seven of Swords, there could be some sneaky energy where someone's not being totally honest, or someone's has a hidden agenda. So the Chariot is here in the past. This is like you've been really busy, you've been kind of scattered, working on going in multiple directions. And this is a card of victory through discipline and focus. So I feel like you may have already decided. This might have been a past problem, and I think you're coming to grips with it. So, because you have the Three of Pentacles here. So you've achieved I'm getting like two things here. There is some career success that's coming. That's already you're being recognized for the work that you do, and you've achieved some type of either a promotion or some type of recognition for the work that you're doing. And the Chariot sometimes, it means success through discipline, to knowing what you want and focusing on that one thing and getting rid of all the other options. So this could also be in terms of relationship. Maybe you were considering multiple partners, or there could have been other options. And now you're deciding, okay, I think in May you're going to decide what you really want and then zero in on it. But I feel though, although there are good things coming, I don't know that it's going to happen all in May. I think things may take longer to get off the ground than what you're envisioning. And I say that because here's the Hangman and the Star. And the Hangman is also a card. It's a card of giving something up for something better, making a sacrifice. So you might be thinking of changing jobs or changing relationships. Maybe there's a partnership that's just not giving you what you need and you need to move to something else. But right now, I feel like in the near future, you're going to feel like things are in limbo, like nothing is moving. And so you have to have patience. This is a card of needing patience, that things are going to work out, but you need more time. Because you have the Star here. This is a card of hope. It gives hope. It's not that you're not going to get what you want. It's just that it's going to be in the future. So it's not an immediate wish fulfillment like you get with the Nine of Cups. The Star is, you have to work toward this dream. You have to work toward this goal. And there may be some sacrifices that need to be made. And you may have to have patience while things are working themselves out. And part of the issue is the Eight of Swords here in your wish fulfillment. You're afraid to take action. You may be afraid to leave your current situation. There is something that's keeping you trapped or feeling trapped. You may feel like, well, I really can't leave. I am stuck here. I can't change my situation. But you can. You just have to believe that it's possible and let go. Sometimes it's hard to break free. Sometimes it's just, it's hard to make that final decision to say, okay, I'm walking away. I'm going to move towards something better. You have the Knight of Wands here in your negative thinking sector. So you could be dealing with someone, maybe a fire sign, that you feel is not reliable, that they don't come through on their promises. Like they're all talk and no action. So there could be someone in your life that this could be for some of you, that they're a lot of fun and you enjoy being with them when you're with them, but you can't count on them all the time. They're not, sometimes they'll say, yeah, let's do something next week, and then you don't hear from him. Or let's do this, I'm going to get you this, I'm going to do that, and then they don't follow through. So you're a little bit suspicious. You may be feeling like, I don't know, you might have doubts about someone in your life. Now, in your environment, you have the Ten of Cups. So there is someone that really cares about you. And you are surrounded by love. You have the love of your family and friends. Maybe there are two people. Maybe there's another person that is going to be revealed, because you have the Wheel of Fortune here. And that means things are changing. And I think that things are going to be resolved more toward the end of the year, because the Ace of Pentacles represents the months of December, January, February. So you may feel like nothing is happening in May and maybe even over the summer. But hold on to the dream, because I think things are going to be changing. It's going to be a slow change. And in the end, you're going to wind up with the Ten of Cups. And it might involve, sometimes the Knight of Wands can mean a change of residence, change of job. So you're right, like you're in a transition period right now. So you might be thinking about if you might have just changed jobs, or maybe thinking about moving. But I think that those changes are going to take a while to work themselves out. So you might be in a new situation, and it's going to take time before you achieve the goal of the Star and the Ten of Cups. And it might be that it may involve, you may have to give something up or someone up to achieve your goal. If you can overcome your fear of moving out of a situation, of taking action, maybe you need to take action. And let someone know that you care. But I have a feeling there's two people here. I'm getting that, like, one person is not that reliable. You might be idealizing someone who's not really good for you. But I feel like better things are coming, but more later in the year. And it's going to involve you realizing that, seeing the truth. Because the Seven of Swords sometimes means you're sweeping things under the rug. You're not willing to face the truth about a relationship. So once you face the truth and you realize where you stand, it'll be easier for you to walk away if that person is not right for you, and walk towards something that is right for you, that can give you that love, that can be there for you. So let's see, and it will be unexpected, because the Wheel of Fortune is like an unexpected thing that may develop. So don't give up. If things are not happening in May, just be patient, because things are changing and you just have to give it time. So the full moon is happening in your 9th house and the sun is in your 3rd house. Something is coming to completion. Maybe you're with some type of communication project, or maybe some educational project, because the 9th house is the house of higher learning, education, teaching, learning. You might have been learning new skills and you're coming to the completion of a program. The sun and Mercury are in the 3rd house. The sun is conjunct Mercury at this full moon. And so you might be hearing, you might get a message from someone in your environment, your local environment. It's about communication. So maybe in a relationship there might be some communication. Something that has been secret is about to be revealed, because at the full moon, it's in Scorpio. And Scorpio is, rules things that are hidden. And Scorpio, so at the full moon, if you dig deep, the full moon is going to bring things to the surface. So anything that you may have, if you haven't had enough information, I think this full moon will bring information your way, and it'll help you to make a decision. You might be completing some type of project that involves travel, or change your belief system, because the 9th house is the house of spirituality, what you believe. I think in this case it might be completing some type of training or educational program, and it's part of your career success. I think has involved some type of training. So you have Mars squaring this new moon from the 12th house. I mean, the moon, when it becomes full, is going to be kind of far, it's not going to be an exact square, but the moon because the moon will be in 17 degrees and Mars is at 26 degrees Aquarius. As the moon progresses throughout the day, it will eventually hit Mars in an exact square. And that's coming from the 12th house. So you might be angry about something with Mars in the 12th house. The 12th house is the house of things that are hidden, psychological blocks, hospitals, institutions. It's where your energy is, and your energy might be feeling run down. When Mars is in the 12th house, your energy level is not at its best. So maybe you've been working really hard and you need some rest. Sometimes Mars in the 12th can mean you're angry about something, but you can't speak about it. So you're repressing it, and it could cause depression. If you're not speaking up about what's bothering you, you might be feeling depressed. But it's a good time with Mars in the 12th to look at things psychologically. What have you been hiding? What are your blind spots? What are you hiding from yourself? And try to bring those to the surface. The moon is supporting that, this full moon. You have Neptune, which is also in Pisces, supporting the moon in Scorpio. And that's in the 1st house. So you are, you're being seen as someone who's very compassionate, someone who is a healer, someone who is very spiritual. It's a good time to tap into that and really find out what do I believe in, and what do I stand for, and is the work that I'm doing, is the relationship I'm in, how is it contributing to my spiritual path? Is it contributing to who I am and what I believe? Pluto in the 11th is conjunct, it's close to Jupiter. Pluto's 24 Capricorn, Jupiter's 27. And both these planets are supporting this full moon from the 11th house. And that's the house of hopes and dreams. So you could be accomplishing a goal. I think it's more of a career goal in May that you feel that's bringing in extra abundance. It's bringing you money, you're getting increased support. You're dealing with powerful people. Jupiter you're expanding your network of friends and connections. So a lot of things are happening at this full moon, and I think it's positive. For the most part, it's positive. The only thing that may interfere with the positiveness is anything that you're hiding from yourself. anything that you might be suppressing and not giving voice to. So make sure you speak up, or at least look into that. You know, if there's something that is nagging at you, dig deeper and find out what the truth is. Venus is in the 4th house, and it's in Gemini. So you might be, if you have recently moved into a new location, or you're living in a new environment, even if you're not moving, you're wanting to make your home environment more beautiful. So you might be decorating or painting or fixing up the house. Now, Venus is squaring Neptune in the 1st house. So if there's a love, if you do have a relationship with someone that you live with, there could be some miscommunication, or you might be idealizing someone. See, when Venus squares Neptune, unless you're doing something creative, Neptune's very supportive when it comes to spiritual work, creative work, art, music, dance, film, photography. But when it comes to love, Neptune can mean that you're being deceived, or you're not seeing the person for who they really are. And you need to look deeper and make sure that whatever someone is presenting to you, they are being truthful. So you have to get everything in writing, or really don't listen to what they say, see what they do, because that's how you'll know the truth. Mercury in the 3rd is sextile to Neptune. So if you've ever wanted to do any kind of creative writing, now is the time, or any kind of creative, because the 3rd is, your communication style is inspired. You could really give hope to people who are less fortunate, like if you're counseling someone. Your words can have extra meaning. And if you feel like writing, or doing anything creative, you're connected to the muse with Neptune in your 1st house and Mercury in your 3rd, the house of communication. So it could be also that you're communicating with siblings more, either through, if not in person, maybe then through social media or through technology. So then we have Saturn. Saturn goes retrograde on May 11th, and it stays retrograde until September 28th. Now Saturn is in your 12th house. It just moved into Aquarius. It was in Capricorn in your 11th house. So you've been achieving, it went through your 10th house. The 11th is like you're achieving a dream. You've worked really hard for this, and you've had success. You're having success. Your dreams are starting to come to fruition. I think that the love relationship part may happen later in the year because everyone's on lockdown. It's harder for people to move around and to make things happen. So over the summer, things may slow down. But I think by the end of the year, things are going to start to pick up, and then you're going to see that all your hard work paid off. Saturn, when it's retrograding in your 12th house, it's a time of clearing out. And Saturn will retrograde back into Capricorn. So if you have any loose ends tie up with a relationship, or with whatever you're leaving behind and whatever you're moving toward, if you have any, it's going to allow you to do that. And then, so Saturn's going to go from Aquarius back to Capricorn, and then it's going to move forward at the end of in September back into Aquarius in your 12th house. And that's, when planets go through the 12th house, it's the end of a cycle. So something may be ending in terms of your job or your status in society. You may decide, I want to do something else, or I want to let go of who I think I am, who I was, because I'm preparing for a new beginning, as Saturn moves into your 1st house when it moves into Pisces. Now, Saturn is just moving into Aquarius, so it's going to be there for 2 years, 2.5 years. So now's the time to, get at that psychological garbage and throw it out. Deal with whatever you feel might be blocking you. With any blind spots where you feel restricted, you need to overcome those fears that are stopping you from living your best life and stopping you from expressing who you are. So you have 6 months during this retrograde period to reconfigure your strategy around career and your status and how you are seen in the world, and even the work that you do. Venus will go retrograde on the 13th, and that's going retrograde in Gemini in the 4th house. So you may rethink about where you want to live. Is this right for you? Is the place that you're living now, is it right for you? It's not a good time to make changes when Venus is retrograde, because what you think you need now may change when Venus goes direct. And after, when Venus goes direct, then Mercury goes retrograde. So I would wait until the summer before making a decision about where you live. Even if you're redecorating, don't do anything drastic while Venus is retrograde. Especially makeovers, physical makeovers, cosmetic, like getting a new haircut, new makeover, any kind of decorating. But Venus also talks about, family. It's in your family sector. So maybe your relationships with family, you're rethinking or reconnecting with people that once meant a lot to you. Sometimes Venus retrograde brings people from the past back into our lives, and you reconsider, do I want to connect with them? Are they right for me? Do we want to go, have a second chance? Because like hot on the heels of Venus retrograding in June, Mercury's going to go retrograde. So you could be dealing with a lot of past issues. And Venus retrograde also rules money and love, so you might feel that your strategies around love and money might be changing. Maybe you're not attracted to the same type anymore, or you want something different. Or even like the way you earn money, you may change. Maybe the things that you value may change during this retrograde period. So Venus is retrograde from May 13th until June 24th. And then Jupiter goes retrograde on May 14th, and that stays retrograde till September 12th. And Jupiter is now in your 11th house of friendships, hopes and dreams, the groups that you belong to. So you might be rethinking, reevaluating, when Jupiter brings luck wherever it goes. So, but Jupiter in Capricorn is having you be more discriminating. Maybe you've been like everybody's friend, and I'm joining every group I know. People say, oh, join my group and join this project and this cause, and you've got all this stuff, you got your hands in every pie. And maybe you're realizing, I think I overextended myself. I think I need to cut away and keep only what's essential. What is it that I really care about, that I really feel passionate about? So you might be cutting out some friends or some groups or projects that you've committed to that are not serving your main goal. And you have time to think about this while Jupiter is retrograding over the summer. Think about what you're involved in, and does it have meaning? And if it doesn't serve you, maybe it's time to let that go so you could focus on what's really important. So then we have the new moon in Gemini. And the new moon in Gemini is happening in your 4th house. So you could be thinking about setting up a home. You could have some kind of new beginning in the home. Either you're moving to a new location, thinking about it, or redecorate, changing the way your house in some way. People could be moving in, people could be moving out. It's time for a new beginning. And this new moon, the sun and the moon in Gemini, because it's Gemini, you may have two options. You may be trying to decide, like, well, I could live here, I could live there, which one do I? And whatever you decide, take your time before you commit, because Saturn is Saturn is supporting the new moon, so whatever you wind up doing, you're going to be there for a long time. So make sure that it's the right place for you. I would hold off and wait till... the new moon is a great time to start something, but maybe not launch anything. So maybe start looking for places and checking things out, and maybe not committing until after all this retrograde energy between at least Venus and Mercury. I would, you don't have to wait for the other planets that are longer cycles to go direct, because they're usually retrograde half the year anyway. But the inner planets like Mercury, Venus, and Mars, those are the ones that affect us the most on a day-to-day basis. So Mars is in your 1st house by this new moon, so you're going to really feel energetic. You're going to feel like, I want to conquer the world, and I want to take action. But you may be afraid. You have Saturn in the 12th, so your fears are going to come up. Like, I don't know, because it's a big step. And you're afraid, like, what if I take action and it's the wrong move or something like that. Uranus is in the 3rd house in Taurus. It's supporting Mars. So there could be some surprise developments around relatives, like your neighbors, your aunts, uncles, siblings. Even communication, you may get a surprise message or a surprise information might be coming through. But still, the thing that I'm concerned with is that Venus and Mercury are coming together in your 4th house, and Mercury rules contracts. And both of them are going to be squaring Neptune at this new moon in the 1st house. So if you have to sign contract or on anything, any kind of home-related thing, I would be checking the details really carefully and making sure that this is what you really want and that you're not glossing over certain details. Because with Neptune sometimes brings confusion. Also, if there's some kind of romantic relationship issue with people that you live with, like maybe you're thinking about moving in with someone or having someone move in with you, you may want to check and make sure that this is what you really want. That's all I'm saying, because of the Neptune influence, there could be some, you may not be seeing things clearly. So if you check someone out, I mean, there's no rush. Don't rush into anything is what I'm saying. I mean, if you've been with someone a long time and you really trust them and you want to move in with them, fine. But if someone is like pops up out of nowhere and, all of a sudden wants to reconnect, I would give it more time before I commit. Now, Mars is sextile Uranus, so you're really going to feel like taking action. You're going to have a lot of energy, which is good if you're not moving and you're just fixing up your house. I wouldn't do any dramatic makeovers, but you can do basic stuff, painting, cleaning, repairing. You're going to have the energy, and you're going to be very active after this new moon. So it might be frustrating if you have to wait. If things are delayed, you might feel a little frustration. But don't worry. Take your time. Good things are coming. Just don't rush into it. Like, the main thing is it's a good time for beginnings, where you at least start to plan, but it's not a good time for launching. I would wait until after at least Venus and Mercury go direct before you launch anything or actually put some plan into action. Because when Mercury retrogrades next month, things are going to be changing that you could not foresee from your present vantage point. And you may say, well, if I knew then what I know, like if I knew now what was going to happen then, I may not have decided something else. So it's okay to go out and do your research, and it's okay to, think about what you want to do, but don't actually put those plans into action until after the retrograde, until maybe July even, when things are going direct. And you might, especially because we're coming into eclipse season in June and July, I would wait till mid-July before committing to anything. Because things are going to be changing. You have the Wheel of Fortune, and you can't see you can't really see up ahead what's going to happen, especially if Uranus is involved. Uranus can bring surprises out of the blue that you just can't predict. You don't know what Uranus is going to bring in. But I wouldn't worry. I'm not saying that you have to worry about the changes. It's just that, maybe you're looking at one house or one apartment, let's say, and you think, oh yeah, this is the great place. But then if you would have waited a couple of months, this really even better place shows up. And you were like, oh damn, I just signed the contract on this. If I only knew that was going to pop up. Or even in a relationship, you're dealing with someone now, you don't know what's coming in the future. Something better might be popping up in the future. So just keep your options open in May. And know that you're going to achieve something tangible by the end of the year. You're going to achieve a dream or a goal. You're surrounded by love. So don't let fear hold you back from committing, but give it time and wait. Now is not the time to commit, especially when Venus is retrograde. You don't want to commit to a relationship during a retrograde Venus. You want Venus moving forward. So that's my forecast, Pisces. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you would like a private reading, click on the link in the description box, and we can get you on the schedule, and I can do a reading specifically for your specific situation. If you like the video, please click on the like button or the subscribe button. And I want to say thank you for those who have been supporting this channel by commenting, ordering readings, even just liking the videos and subscribing. Thank you for your support. So everyone, stay safe, especially if you're on the front lines. If you're Pisces, you might be in healthcare. or some type of nurturing profession. So be safe, be healthy, hang in there. Things will get better. And I will talk to you again next month. Okay, bye now.